from what it was in the Falco Fox matchup. It's doubly true against Sheik. She can, of course, space a fair, get a spaced normal from quite far away. But a very powerful tool for Falco in this matchup.
At first, I was not sure if this was a hand warmer for like 11 seconds.
Yeah, big combo from Ginger.
Ooh,
wow.
That forward smash was very crisp.
Just pressing with lasers, too. So one thing I like about Ginger's lasers thus far this set already, the laser does not feel like it's like lasers and then movement. It feels like the lasers are a part of the movement. Right? There's like some dash dances, and then a laser will occasionally come where a dash back would be or a dash forward would be. And that's pretty neat, because not only are you putting out like all the advantages that we talk about lasers all the time, but it's also like kind of like a shorter dash one direction or the other.
Right.
A shorter and a slower one. So it creates like a bit of a timing mix-up movement-wise, as opposed to just, strictly shooting lasers over and over for the sake of putting those hitboxes on the screen.
Tight game so far. Junebug playing with much more of a threat of grab and dash attack than he did in the previous set versus Absent Page. Sheik has a very good ability to get in under Falco's lasers with dash attack as well.
Yeah, one of the interesting parts of the matchup where it just happens to work out that way. A low-profile dash attack for Sheik. Still Ginger up, pretty much full stock. I like to shine back air, some quick damage. Standing laser probably meant to be jump back.
Ginger hanging onto this stock, gets back to the center of the stage and gets it taken immediately from him again. Very much liking the approach and the play from Junebug a lot more in this set versus the previous set versus Fox.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think this matchup is not nearly as difficult for Sheik. I think Sheik has a lot more going for her. And Junebug, I mean, being one of the players that can overcome not having that much going for him in a matchup. But if you don't have to, like, obviously that's way better.
What do you think the big threat is that would keep a Sheik player from being that aggressive versus Fox? Is it the idea that you could get grabbed as well, or that you're going to get shined or dared?
Keeps a Sheik player from being aggressive versus Fox?
Like you were saying, yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily...
Why is he able to play this way more easily versus Falco, I would say?
I think it's more so because like that effective range thing isn't there. So like in this matchup, I think Falco can use his strengths like the lasers and the fade back arrows and all that to create lots of like 50-50s that are somewhat favorable, which is the reason why a lot of people like conventionally would say Falco might win this matchup. Okay. Whereas versus Fox, it's the effective range. It's basically like, you can't play with me. Falco says you have to play with me. Fox says you can't play with me.
I see.
And one's much more oppressive than the other. And I mean, that's only my take as a not Sheik player, right? But
right. I mean, just speculation. That's what we're here for.
Oh, yeah.
At best. Very important last stock here in this game. And honestly, a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Something Junebug's doing really well, one of Sheik's kind of weaknesses is the full hop and the short hop height for Sheik are very, very similar. Nice. Gonna take the first stock versus Ginger. Good stuff. A little fist pump. Yeah, interesting that Junebug's doing. Sheik actually has the highest short hop and the shortest full hop, I believe, at least among the viable characters. And so that's usually not a very good thing for Sheik, right? You want to have some disparity between your jumps. Some disparity at least. But what Junebug's doing is using the short hop and putting out a nair that can contest the airspace so Ginger can't use those aerials as freely. Because Falco has such a low short hop, the shortest.
The shortest.
Yeah. Yep. I really like Laser Shine. Puts on some pressure.
That pressure was very, very clean. Love the option to dial it back there.
Yep. Yeah, FD, devastating counter pick because you thought you couldn't play before, you were forced to play. It's super true here on Final Destination. Yeah, that's another nice little mix-up from Ginger before. Last time he hit the laser, and was close to the shield. He started putting on the pressure. That time, he leaves a little bit of space. Like, oh, you can roll. I know I scared you last time. Of course, Junebug didn't bite, so it worked out pretty well. But
oh, she's in a lot of trouble here.
And so, like, that's something I think Ginger picks up on pretty fast, is that, so basically he's had 3 times where he got in on a laser and, like, basically was able to stick to Junebug. The first time he applied a pressure directly. He, you know, just lots of shine, some aerials. The second time he left empty space, allowing June to go for something like a sidestep or a roll or maybe a jump. June didn't bite and still stayed in shield. The third time, he recognized, like, okay, it seems like you like to just hold your shield. So I'll take advantage of that and pressure you. So we'll see if that, like, going forward, he continues to choose that style of pressure.
Yeah, that kind of glean, that kind of data, it can be something that's valuable for one interaction.
Yeah.
Or it can be something that's valuable for an entire set, or even more if they don't correct that pattern that you notice.
And at this high of a level, once you're talking like maybe top 50 players, really is where it kind of starts.
I would say that these two are definitely in there.
Yeah, yeah. There's this thing that kind of happens where he says, like, oh, so you're willing to stay in shield. What other patient things are you willing to do? Because I can take advantage of those too. Right? He's sort of like, someone like Ginger can say, I've played a lot of people who are patient enough to stay in shield versus Falco pressure. And I know what other things they like to do. And I figured out stuff against all of that as well. And I mean, yes, it's FD, so maybe that's a big part of the reason that he has a 3-stock-to-1 lead. But I still think another part of it is that he's found that Junebug is willing to hold back. He's willing to block, right?
I think that was one of the things that we noticed that he was doing the most in the set that he lost too, was he was on his back foot, he was playing defensively, hanging back.
And it works great versus people who, like kind of come to him. A lot of people will hand themselves to Junebug on a silver platter. And he takes advantage of that beautifully. And Junebug can also take the initiative. But it's interesting to see when someone like Absent Page or Ginger gets to apply their game plan. He goes for a forward smash. At this point, forward smash is a pretty smart choice because it does more mental damage. You're probably going to win the game anyway.
Right,
so
yeah, you're going for the Minta kill at that point. June's actually able to put a lot of this stock, has put a lot of good use as far as this goes, because he was getting 4-stock at the beginning of this.
Yes. And I mean, that's reassuring for Junebug now that they're tied 1-1, and he was able to come back on FD like that. We'll see how he adjusts. I mean, we saw in the Acid Page set, he realized maybe just a bit too late. I can't be as, like, patience is good in Melee, but there's times where you also have to be proactive, right?
Right, yeah. At a certain point, you're just letting, especially when it comes to characters like Fox and Falco, is you can't really just let them run and do their thing, and especially when it comes to getting down air shield pressure or shine pressure from Falco, you can't just sit back and let that happen. Eventually, you're just going to not have shield. You're gonna run out of shield, or you're going to get poked.
And you're already against the ledge.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. We're back on Dreamland here.
Wow, lots of damage from these bears from Ginger.
Yeah, the crowd's loving it. And by the crowd, I think I mostly mean Stango.
It's mostly Stango and a couple guys from New York, but they are shouting the word kicks over and over again very loudly. So I think they're happy. He's got to make him pay for that missed shine here.
What an edge guard.
Woo. Very, very nice edge guard there. Even when he originally kind of flubbed it a little bit, he didn't give up on it, stayed dedicated, ended up getting it.
I think he covered like everything. Because that nair, he started really early. It looked like he was trying to like, he like on purpose was doing the equivalent of an offstage auto cancel.
Yeah,
right?
I believe the nair was to cover the potential for a jump side B or something like that.
And then he was able to scoop him with a backer on the way up. And Ginger like, come back here. Get over here. Scorpion for ultimate.
Imagine if Falco could pull people as well as all the other stuff he does too. He can also just like pull people from halfway across the world.
Yep, there's another nair, the same as before.
June needed that very, very badly. That is so good.
Good corner control from Ginger. See, he gets that dash attack. So now Junebug realizes that he needs to be a little bit more proactive, and Ginger's ready to take advantage of that too.
He very needed that. He very much needed that back air there. Great edge guard there from Junebug. He is in the lead again after so long of being oppressed by Falco.
Yeah, and I mean, his conversion rate off the stage has been top-notch.
Very, very, very high this set compared to the previous sets we've been seeing.
Yep.
You see that Ginger's definitely switching up his play style and his strategy as he's way more afraid of that back throw now. He is not willingly trying to engage Sheik in the corner over here unless he absolutely has to.
Ginger's still working that corner control. Once again, gets movement inwards. This time it's a roll and not a dash attack, but effectively it accomplishes the same.
Whoa! Transformation recovery there, almost enough to get him back, but he has too much lag on the up B.
This is the swing stock for the set.
Yeah, this is definitely a swing stock. Ginger looking to get some momentum back on his side.
And see, that's what I like to see from Junebug. You can play patient, but it doesn't have to be from all the way across the stage. He moves up, he does an approaching shield, he puts out a zoning aerial, and he slowly takes space. And like, at least there's a little bit of threat in his top level opponents that way, right? And then he can work his smarts in the game. But it gives himself more options to work with, which I think is really important.
Oh, that needle was crucial. That needle could have been, this could have spelled disaster for Ginger.
Forward air does not connect. Well, connects with just the shield, I guess. Semantics.
Front hit bear, putting him off stage, forcing him off stage. Should be enough for Ginger to take that third game. He's feeling good about it.
Yeah, definitely feeling good about it.
Self-affirmation pop-off. Junebug looking cozied up in that sweater as he settles in for game 3.
Back to Dreamland again. A lot of Sheiks they like to see Battlefield and Fountain, a little bit of smaller stages. But I guess Junebug wants to work with that slowly take space to put pressure on Clan. For me, like I think that a smaller stage would just kind of amplify that type of style that he's been playing.
I agree. I was thinking that we would see either Fountain of Dreams or Battlefield, but looks like he wants a little bit more room to play, a little bit more room to kind of observe Ginger.
And this might be like a more true definition of the word counterpick, right? Because it's more about like Ginger's combos on a tri-plat with closer platforms. They're ridiculous, and they're a little bit not nullified here. They're a little bit weaker here than they are in one of those stages.
I see.
So it might be a lot about what Ginger can do.
Right. So you would think, well, it depends on how much to what extent are you worried about that? Because you could also always go to a stadium which doesn't have a tri-plat at all.
That sounds horrible, though.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, that just sounds bad. Yeah. Junebug once again on top because of his flawless edge guarding.
Yeah, his ability to predict the recovery option selects have been great this game, and his just setups off of his back throw have been amazing as well.
Yeah, like that nair has just been ridiculous for him. I mean, I guess maybe Ginger can do like a quick fast fall jump to the ledge so that the after the nair is about to end. But I don't really know for sure. It looks like it just covers a whole lot. Okay, interesting.
I'm not sure what the illusion. Maybe that's supposed to be shine. It just came out as illusion. That still happens to the best players in the world.
I mean, I feel like it's probably on purpose. Like that, maybe that hits if you do a tech. It covers 2 tech options.
Yeah, because it covers the roll away as well.
Yeah, they get popped up. I don't know.
That makes sense.
That's that student of the game, things we don't always see stuff. Ginger tends to do sometimes.
In between the lines. He is definitely a true student of the game. If you guys have not checked out his Twitch, he has one of the best Melee-related Twitches, I think. Best Melee-related streams.
Especially for competitors, right?
Yeah. If you're a person of a competitive mindset trying to improve out there, just getting started on your Melee journey, definitely a lot of good stuff to check out.
Yeah, nice reaction with the back air. Junebug in a tough position, not feeling rushed. Yep. That's another Junebug rolling or dash attacking a lot out of the corner in these Dreamland games.
He's turning the pressure up on Arun here too. Like just now he's got him kind of back into the corner. Knows he's at a percent where he can't really trade or scrap, and he's just keeping him on the wall.
Yeah, we see some of those aerial denial neutral airs again from Junebug. They're making a comeback this set.
It's so interesting that now we're seeing him try to fight for center of the stage just because he's at that higher percent range. Zelda turning now. Interesting. Save that jump. It's enough to get him back on stage, but that lag is overwhelming.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed by the ability to get back there while saving that jump. I guess it's just because of Zelda's aerial mobility compared to Sheik's.
Yeah, the aerial drift is much higher. Sheik's is one of the lowest in the game, and Zelda's is okay.
It's just okay, which makes it astronomically better than Zelda.
Sheik's. Yeah, exactly.
Great game from Maroon there. I really feel like that was Junebug's best game of this set. Even though it was a little bit closer than the one he won before,
yes. Yeah.
The play that we saw there was way better.
Yeah, and as these players get to sort of learn each other throughout the set, the level of play just keeps heightening. Yeah, there's some players, like a lot of people say, like, oh, he's meditating. And I don't know if that's necessary. Like, maybe that's a thing as well for a player like Ginger, but I think a lot of the players sort of replay some of the footage in their head.
I also, yeah, I mean, it just depends on your definition of the word meditating. Is meditating the actual practice of meditating, or is it just clearing your mind? Because sometimes just clearing your mind is what these guys are doing, and sometimes they're thinking about every interaction that they can remember in between the sets. It's really a player-to-player basis. I know that, you know, players like Dr. Peepee and other players that have done interviews have said that they just like to try to clear their mind and stop thinking about all the things that are making them nervous about the set.
Yeah.
Starting off strong here from Junebug.
And a jump back from Ginger, an early jump back up B. That beat the Nair that had been taking all the stocks before off stage, because in the Dreamland games, that would have been the end of Ginger's stock.
Yeah, absolutely.
This time, Junebug adapts immediately, throws a needle to beat jump back. Still not the stock, though.
And the thing you were talking about earlier with the combos with the triplat, I guess that Ginger doesn't consider them his strongest weapon because he still went to this stage, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, this is traditionally, this and FD are considered the counterpicks versus Sheik, like the standards.
Yes, exactly.
Sheik's aerial mobility being so bad, like we said, makes her very easy to juggle. And
it's just that if that is something that Junebug was worried about, it's not on the table for this game, so that's great.
Yes, yes. Yep. Ginger playing it nice and slow.
Downward angle 4 tilt. Nice up air there.
Yep.
I really like the following of the up air. I've been seeing him hit that a lot on Sheik and Mark.
Yeah, and there's this feeling, and I think Ginger realized he was doing it for a second there. Right after you take the stock and even up the stocks, you're like, okay, all I need is that hit, and then you're just going for the hit. And you kind of stop playing your game plan for just a little bit, right?
I 100% agree, where you come back and you really do need to kill them, but you can't play like that.
Yeah,
you can't play like you really need to kill them.
Or you like get that 30% to tie it up, like as a mental victory, because all of a sudden you're just not playing your best anymore.
You definitely have to notate that SD there from Ginger. That is the worst possible time to SD on the third stock of this final game in a tournament where the stakes are super high to the point where you're playing a player like Junebug this early in the bracket.
In losers. Like,
in losers.
You lose, you're done. Only top 8 pays out.
Yes.
This is a money game. Yep, Junebug with a nice tech chase so far. Does the Nair again, not able to finish it. Yeah, a lot of jump back from Ginger on the recovery now. That's been his adaptation on the recovery. Been important so far, but with the SD, he's still not able to keep the lead. Reverse forwarder. Probably one of the regular one, if I had to guess. Looks like they kind of want to fight. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is an important moment in this set.
I think Ginger would definitely want to fight here because it's really easy as the higher. Like Ginger's at death percent, he'll be at death percent 60 more percent.
If you're at default, the higher risk person. Like if your percentage is higher, if you're losing the game, you're more likely to be like, yeah, let's go ahead and scrap on Murder Mountain. Because if you die, it's like, I probably would have just died to a stray Nair or a Nair out of shield or something anyway soon. And if you don't, if you get like 80 damage off of wall bounce, you're like, heck yeah.
Yeah. And if you just both take 80 damage, your 80 damage is less meaningful because you were ready to die anyway. Well, going for a big roll read. Interesting time for that.
I think he's looking for anything now, just to try to get back in this. He really needs to after that SD. He's still feeling the effects of that.
Yes, predicts roll in. We get shine, grab, and that might be the end of the stock for Junebug. We'll see.
Should be hard for him to get. Yeah, I was gonna say even
last stock. Crowd's getting hype.
Yeah, crowd is getting into it now. Finally, we're at this moment. Last stock, last game. Ginger, Junebug for the winner getting top 8. Ginger's doing a great job so far. He's just chipping away, putting that damage on. This could be the sequence he needs right here. Not quite.
Okay, another laser grab.
Junebug needs to find his footing very badly as Murder Mountain makes its rise once again.
And I mean, at this point, he's probably going to stall until he tries to get to the center stage. I guess he wanted to be in.
Ginger's ready to fight again. Doesn't care. Off the top of Murder Mountain, that will do it.
What a
Junebug and Ginger handshake.